Oh God, I wasn't ready. Can we start over?
No.
Oh, all right. Hi, everybody.
Good evening, friends. Welcome to a special episode, I guess we'll call it, that unfortunately I've had to reschedule umpteen times, and I do apologize for that. Simply because, really, Mark?
I told you I wasn't ready.
Simply because Mark wasn't feeling so hot, but he's better now, and so here we are. So I have to say that in full disclosure, we have rescheduled this so many times that I've actually forgotten what I wanted us to talk about.
Well, that was my fault. I was not 100% the last time either. So
Yeah. So, anyways, we're here now, and that's all that matters. So, hi, Kristen. Hi, Linda. Hi, Gerald. We're here. It's Sunday night. It's a little cool here in Ontario. We have sweaters on. Yay! So we're very excited about that. And so we're here for Conflab and for other sorts of things. For all of those people that see Mark lurking around in the background and hanging out in the chats.
Stop! You just got tired of me asking you to bring me on, so you finally bumped it.
No,
that's true.
It's not true. And helping, with the fire safety and all of that. Here he is in the flesh.
I can honestly say that I'm here strictly for my good looks. Like, that is not more truer than today, because I have nothing really to offer to this collaboration other than my good looks.
Well, we're happy that you're here, I'm sure.
Why don't we say hello to some people now that there's a bunch of people here?
Of course, absolutely. I mean, the floor is yours. I'll just mute myself and wait.
No, it's your channel. I mean, I really don't want to run too. Thanks.
Okay. I see how it goes. Okay. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Hershey. So, yeah.
Hello, everybody. Gerald, Linda, Christian, Hershey, Linda again, Teresa, Nancy, Gerald again.
So let's talk about this. Let's talk about the fact that our wedding anniversary is coming up in 2 weeks.
When is it again?
Really?
No, because you forget so often that now you've made me forget. So
right,
it's the 25th.
There's a picture right behind you that might be able to help you out. It's got the date on it.
It does? Oh.
In the cabinet.
I don't know. Somewhere up there.
No, on the bottom with me and Mom. Anyway, so I hear an echo.
That's because I have my volume up. I'm getting old, so.
Yeah.
Let me turn my volume down.
Our wedding anniversary is coming up at the end of September, and we will be celebrating. My God. We will be celebrating our 19th wedding anniversary.
It is truly amazing that you put up with me for that long. I mean, you deserve it a big award.
And as do you.
This is true.
Geez, don't hold back. Tell us how you really feel. No, in all honesty, I wouldn't be able to do what I do if it wasn't for your unwavering support. You're a superstar in that category, as you well know. But now I've said it. It's on record.
Well, no, it's been on record before, and I've said many times before that you supported me for many years and continue to support my crazy hobby. And
yes, I did.
I mean, it's not as bad now as it was, 10 years ago. But so, I mean, that's what partners do, right? This is what you wanted, and this is what I'm going to do. So.
Here's the reason why we can't remember a date. Hi, Ivana, by the way, and hi, Hypnicity. Ivana says we can't ever remember our date either. The reason why we can't remember our
Hold on,
date.
stop. Before you say anything. And we didn't plan it this way either, just for the record. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, we didn't plan it this way. It wasn't the date that we wanted at all. But it was the only date that was available, so we went with it. My sister's wedding anniversary is the day after our wedding anniversary.
Like, what are they, 9 years? No, 6. 6 years prior. They got married 6 years before we did, but like the day after.
Yeah. So there are moments when we're like, which day belongs to who? But you know what it's like, friends, right? After a while, it's a blur. So the point that we're trying to make is that, basically we're here, we're hanging out. We have a lot of things that we're sort of celebrating in this time frame. We just celebrated being in this house for 4 years. Our 19th wedding anniversary is about to show up. Mark is officially hanging out with an old chick because I just had my 58th birthday.
Well, we're both old now, dear.
What's that?
I said we're both in the same,
Well,
half century category now. So
yeah, thank you for that. Mark is going to be celebrating his birthday coming up at the end of November, and for all of those intuitive folks in the chat who know the story about when I went to visit my mom, Mark and I were there visiting, and we were talking about zodiacs and what sign we are. And Mark's birthday is November 22nd, and I said that means that you're a Sagittarius, and my mom said that because she's Scorpio, that Scorpios are the sex gods and or goddesses of the zodiac, and from that moment forward he swore he was a Scorpio. But anyway, you guys can tell me later what you intuit from that.
how do I get under your login?
Sorry, what?
Nothing. Never mind. I was gonna put a comment, and it says dozen cats for me. Right.
Because you're in my team.
Oh, okay. All right.
So Kristen says I'm a Scorpio. It's true. Hi, Esther.
Sorry, I was born 3 a.m. on the last day of Scorpio.
Yeah.
Which does not put me on the cusp. The cusp is lunchtime.
Oh my god. Okay, you know that this is a bunch of very intuitive, connected people. Some study astrology. You know that, right? Like
yes,
this isn't the car group.
No, I know.
Know anything about zodiac.
Those are called alternative facts. Those aren't actually the facts. Those are my facts. There's a difference.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Amanda is here. Hi, Amanda, by the way. She says, laugh out loud. Hello, Mark is a Scorpio in Vedic and in his own sexy heart. Laugh out loud. See?
Gee, I like Amanda already. See?
Right? Oh, my gosh. Listen, it is true what they say, friends, that, that men are motivated by certain things. And so I want to share this. I mean, as most of you have probably already, surmised, that Mark is, the most helpful guy. He always wants to help others. And when my mom had been retired and she moved away to the small little town, everyone around her was a senior citizen, and my mom retired early, so she wasn't quite there yet. But he would go there and he would have to clean off like her roof and the next door neighbor's roof and the other neighbor's roof, or clean out the eaves straw for the 3 houses. And literally, my mother shared with them that a great way to motivate Mark to do stuff is to make him brownies. And so there was one time, do you remember this, Mark, when like literally Auntie Betty
Yeah,
and Mom were like running across the yard with platter of brownies for you?
yeah. Trying to figure out who was going to get the roof done first. I'm a guy, you know what? I'm motivated by food. It's not a big shock to
Yeah.
anybody.
But the funny thing is that at home we had to hire someone to clean our eavesdrop.
Well, that's true because it's, you know, I don't know. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense, but it is true. We
But
get paid somebody to do ours.
right. But the point that I was trying to get to is how much I appreciate having a person that I love that loves what I love too. You know what I mean? And the fact that he is so incredibly helpful, and he has put me to shame so many times. So another story that pops into my mind is our oldest niece, Madison, when she was like 2.5, 3.5, somewhere in that range. We were at my sister's house. My mom was visiting, and Madison had a rag doll, and her arm fell off, which is tragic. And she came into the kitchen like sobs, right? Because the dolly's arm had fallen off, and you know it like first instinct is fix it, right? So the women in the family, myself, my mom, and my sister, were like, oh, we're gonna go to the store and buy you a new one. And Uncle Mark said, do you have a sewing kit? And he literally sat there with her on his lap in the big cozy lazy boy chair, remember? And sewed
There
her
is a
arm back
picture of
on.
it. There is a picture of me sewing her arm back on.
Yeah. And Uncle Mark sewed her arm, the dolly's arm back on, and he became the hero in that moment. We all were like, thanks very much. That was great. So he's always been that person. Like he's always been, you know, that person that you can count on when chips are down or when times get tough. And most of you know that I was married before, and one of the things that it took me a long while to express this to Mark, but one of the things that I was first attracted to, and which I don't know that most men want to hear this because, you know, it's not like your normal answer, but I wasn't used to someone taking accountability for things. I wasn't used to someone being so supportive in the ownership of a situation. In other words, I was used to if someone said, oh, don't worry about that, you know, I'll look after it. That meant I should worry twice as much because that's never going to get looked after. And if it does get looked after, it'll be a hot mess. So like panic almost ensued if that was said to me. When Mark says, you know, don't worry, honey, I'm going to look after that, or don't worry, honey, like, you know, I'll get that done. He has proven time and time again that he will literally, like, you know, he will kill himself trying. And the stability and the security that knowing provides me has made a massive difference in my life, and I'm so grateful for that. You know that we can hear you, right? Even though you've got yourself muted.
I know. Sorry.
You know, we're in the same house.
Yeah, I know. Well,
so the animals are like, what the hell's happening?
there was a standoff here in the living room here a second ago, and then now Rosie's off tour in the hallway somewhere doing something, I'm sure.
It's all good. And this is why I can't go live from the living room. Anyway, I just wanted to say to you guys that, you know, the things that you see him doing here, the things that you've heard me, you know, say in terms of his support, you know, I am very grateful and I am very blessed that I have the kind of support system that I have with my husband. I realize that that is not everyone's not everyone has that, and I do realize how lucky I am. Quincy, stop.
So I know you guys are all about numbers, or like I know numbers are a big part of what everybody does, and I'm okay talking about it. So I thought I'd share it with you. So
Like numbers, what? What do you mean?
well, I'm just going to share some common dates going back to our anniversary. Right?
Oh, I was like, what?
So Kelly's first marriage, the date of her first marriage, the actual date, not the year, but the date. And my proposed first marriage that never happened are the exact same day, September 14th. Which is, some say that's just goes back to, like, how ironic that, the 25th and 26th represent, and I don't know. To me, it doesn't really mean much, but I don't know.
So you just thought you would open that up and see if anyone else agreed or disagreed?
Yeah, sure. I thought I might want, I thought I might as well say something now. So
that's called a
now
conversation.
that I can't fit my head in the bathroom door, so I'm peek in the hallway. So thank you.
Stop. One of the things that I think is great is about Mark and I is, I think that if we were to tell people this story, thank you, Quincy. I don't think that anyone would have said that we would have survived. That, like, oh yes, this sounds like a fantastic relationship. Yeah, I'd go with that. I'm glad that we proved everyone wrong, though.
I am too.
And that concludes the show. Thank you so much. Let's get it.
Oh boy.
Bye-bye. My allergies, you guys, are so bad. Like, literally, my nose is running, my eyes are watering, my ears are all itchy, and of course I have a cat sitting here waving his tail in front of my face because I'm allergic to cats. Don't know if you guys know that or not. Okay, Quincy, stop chewing the cards, please. I have cards all over my desk because I just did a private reading prior to this. So, can you guys hear the flop? Hold on. What are you doing? Hey, you saying hi to everybody?
I think all the animals have lost their marbles, I'm telling you.
I think the animals probably think we've lost our marbles.
Maybe.
Quincy's a lot cuter to look at than I am, so.
Thank you to Hershey for putting my channel up. It's not necessary. I'm here to support you guys and to support Kel, but I do appreciate it.
Hi, Twisted Sushi. I was just gonna say, like, for all of you that don't know, Mark does have his own channel, so let's talk about that for a little minute. Tell them about what you did, like what we used to do.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I gotta go deal with Rosie.
Okay.
Sorry.
Welcome to my life, friends. It's like the mutual Omaha of the animal kingdom over here. I'm going to switch my camera back for all of you that are sick of looking at Quincy's butt. And there we go. So, way long time ago, when Mark and I first were together, he had a crazy idea that he wanted to start a car club. And he showed started this car club. It was the largest in Canada of its kind. It was his baby. It was his mission. It was his happiness. It was his source of stress. But it was a pretty big deal. And he did that for about 15 years. And there wasn't a vacation that we had or an extra dollar that we received that wasn't spent on or around or in the car world in some form or another. And it sort of took over our life, really. But it was his dream, and I was very proud of him, and so I supported him in the exact same way that you guys see him doing for me. But the car club situation sort of died down a little bit when we moved here away from the city, and so Mark has started a YouTube channel. And I'll put the link to that in the description box below the video. And Hershey did put that on the in the chat. Thank you, Hershey. So that's his channel on YouTube if anyone wants to give him a subscription.
So yeah, it was.
Ooh, Hypnocity is getting 2 new puppies next week. Or not 2 new puppies, 2 puppies next week. Nice.
Something that we wanted to do, or I wanted to do, or I wanted to carry it on, but I wanted to carry it on in a limited capacity because I knew I couldn't handle, having 2 full-time jobs. And the one I have today,
I think that's the point, right? It was a full-time job, was it not?
It was, yeah. And
it was a lot.
It was, the one I have now is obviously more important because it supports his family, and I have a bigger role at work where, it requires more of my attention, right? I have more freedom, but it also demands more of my attention, right?
Okay, hold on a second. I'm gonna share something. You keep talking. I'm gonna try and figure out how to do this.
We had a presence, we had a presence more of an online presence than more of an in-person presence, and we'd go to a lot of the big indoor car shows and just, keep everything kind of going off from an online perspective. And then, when Kel started her channel, it was kind of like, well, I've always had my channel, but I never did anything with it. And we were kind of late getting to Facebook as well back when we had the club going. So, coming late to YouTube was not a big shock for me or anybody else, because we were more involved in kind of doing more localized stuff, and we wanted, an opportunity to kind of take it on a national, and kind of move away from the local stuff. So Kyle and I sat down and derived a plan, and off I went with it. And it's done well. It's I took.
All right, Mark. Sorry, I figured it out. Yay! Oh. I'm gonna show the pictures of the car. So this is how popular the car club is in Canada. That if you knew what Mark's handle or name was in the car club, you can literally Google his image, and here you are. So this is the car club, and these were our cars, the gray car and the black car. That is Mark upstairs in this house doing his YouTube channel. This is Mark's car here. Yes, he drove it in the winter. So to answer some of the questions, it was Camaros and Firebirds. You don't have very many pictures up there anymore. How come?
Just put in CCFPG, you'll get a lot more. Hypnicity owns a 67 convertible. That is awesome. What color is it, Hypnicity?
So here's an indoor show that we did. You can see all of the cars there. It was one of the biggest displays that we ever did. There. This was the last show that I participated in. This was a very difficult show for me and for Mark.
That was the first one, not the second one.
I'm sorry?
So we did 2 down there. That was the first one.
It was the last show that I participated in.
Oh.
Is what I said. And I said it was difficult for Mark and I. This show was done where my mom lived. And this was about 2.5 to 3 months after my mom passed away. And the show took about a year and a half in the planning, and lots of friends and family came out to help us because they knew it was going to be a rough day, and it was, but we managed. There was a giant cruise that happened, which is why all these cars are lining up, and Mark and I cried the entire way. So there's that. What else can we see here? I want everyone to know that I designed this car. I was the one who said to put the ghost flames on it. I'm trying to find a better picture than that of the car, but I don't know where that picture might be. Anyway,
I'll get you one. Hold on, just give me.
It doesn't matter. So there you go. Red with black stripes, nice. Hypnocity, I like it. Oh, you're 20 with, I love it. Don't give him any ideas. You're not getting an anniversary gift of a new Camaro. Let's talk about that story.
I was just thinking of that. Yeah.
Let's talk about that story, Mark Foster. Why don't you tell him that story? Come on. You know you want to.
Hold on.
You know you want to.
There is 3 pages. What are you chewing on? All right.
Welcome to our life, friends. I mean, honestly, we need a puppy handler is what we need. Does the puppy stage ever end for those of you in the chat that know about puppies? Okay, we're losing people here. Come on.
Okay, carry on. I'm gonna get you.
I'm asking you to tell the story. There's no.
You tell the story.
I don't want to tell the story. You tell the story. Listen, if I guarantee you, if I tell the story, you're not going to be shining in a very bright light.
Well,
it would be so much better if you told it. Plus, I want to wait till you make a mistake and then jump in and correct you.
That's true, but so
you want me to tell the story?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the story, friends. Mark is about to celebrate his birthday this one year, and Mark takes the day off. I believe it was a Friday, and I come home, and there is something different at my house, and that would be a brand spanking new shiny Camaro in the driveway. And I'm like, okay. And it doesn't have license plates on it, like regular license plate. It has a dealer license plate, which is something that we have here. I'm sure you guys have that there too. Basically, like the dealer lends you a plate to drive the car. Like if you were going for a test drive. So there is a new car in my driveway with a dealer plate on it, and I'm like, oh no, you didn't. Like, oh no, you did not buy this car and not tell me. I mean, for real. So I go in the house and I'm like, excuse me? And Mark's like, before you say anything, and he's trying to tell me the story, but I was so shocked at seeing the car that I couldn't process what he was telling me.
That's not the one I was looking for, but
there I am. Hi.
That's in my office upstairs. In a frame.
Aw. That's lovely.
Yes, so
tell them what you did, Mark.
So I went up. I went up to see my friends at one of the dealers that was supporting the club, and this is when the Camaro had just come out, and we'd had him before, We got them. We got press cars from GM.
Yeah,
So,
but not like that.
No. Like, I mean, you knew about that one. But so, anyways, I went up and got talking to him, and he's like,
Mark, you have to lower your voice because, like, I can hear your echo. You're screaming coming through because we're in the same vicinity.
The dealer says, "Do you want to take it and, try it out for the weekend and do a review on it, whatever?" I'm like, "Sure, why not?" I go, "It's my birthday, right?"
Yeah.
So I leave my truck there and I bring the car home for the weekend. I have it for the whole weekend, and I don't tell Kel until she comes home. And it's loaded. It's like $55,000 top of the line.
And I'm like, oh my God, like, where's the divorce papers? I can't believe that you bought this car without me knowing about it or without discussing it with me, because that's all he ever wanted. I mean, my whole life for like 12, 15 years was like Camaro everything, right? And so I was like shocked. I couldn't believe it. But anyway, when he told me, oh no, it's just on loan, it's all fine, I was like, oh, okay. And so what we did was, and it was a standard, so like a manual transmission. And what we did was we took that car to the mall, because that's what you should do when you have a brand new car, that you don't own. Take it to the shopping mall. Doesn't that sound like a great idea, friends? So we took it to the shopping mall because here in Canada, at one point or another, you guys could go into the mall, and they had those machines where you could like get your stickers for your license plate. I don't know if you guys have that or not in America, but we have like stickers where we have to renew them. Anywho, long story short, we go to the mall. I'm going to drive because I drive a manual car, and this one over here doesn't like manual, except for in a big truck, but it's a sports car, so it has to be manual because that makes, it's all about, testosterone. You guys get it. Anyway, so I get in the car, because now I'm driving the machine. Now I feel like a somebody, right? I get in the car. You guys, this car was so powerful that it scared me. Like, legit. The mall was like 5 minutes from our house. Thank goodness, because if it was any longer, I think I would have had to stop and change my.
Just about had to buy it because you just about put it through the barrier at the
underground parking. You didn't let me finish. So we get to the mall, and I choose to park in the underground because, keep it out of the elements, God forbid, right? And I literally almost crashed the car. And I'm not a bad driver. I'm an excellent driver. And I just about put that car, and did you just roll your eyes?
No, I had something in it.
Don't make me come out there.
We have this debate all the time.
We do. Are you saying that I'm not a good driver?
I never said that. I said I had something in my eye. I said we have that debate all the time on who's the better driver.
No, I'm not trying to be better than you. I'm just saying I'm a good driver.
Yes, you are.
Thank you. We're watching you to make sure that you're not fibbing. But anyway, so I go out. I almost crashed this car that's on loan. It's not even like, it's not ours, right? And I almost crashed this car. Anyways, I'm like, okay, that's it. That's it. I'm done. Never and I'm like, you are not allowed to buy this car because now I'm afraid it's too powerful, right? What would be the point of having a fancy car like that if you couldn't drive it?
So she let me buy an automatic.
So anyways, he ended up buying that kind of car, only in an automatic. So he got his dream. There you go. Why don't you tell the rest of that story, Mark? You know you want to.
What?
About how you bought a car that had no snow tires when you live in Canada, and
yes,
and we almost crashed on the highway bringing the car home.
That's not
someone, not mentioning any names, you guys, spent her bonus buying snow tires for
rims.
Said car
and rims
because of course, I mean, and we threw in floor mats. I mean, why the heck not?
No. So
was
so
an
yeah,
$1,800 bonus that I'd never received that high of a bonus ever in my working career, and I was like, I thought I had arrived. You know what I mean? I thought like there was music playing in the background behind me. I was so excited and so happy and so proud of myself. And there we are driving along in this car on the highway, and it literally hits like black ice, and we go sideways. And I'm
well,
like,
no,
that's
that's no. Well, it wasn't really black ice, but whatever. I bought the car in February, and it was one of those mild Februarys where it was raining a lot.
yeah.
And it on the highway, it switched from rain to snow, and the thing had high performance tires on it. And as soon as I hit the snow, we did about I think we spun it about twice. I think we spun it twice, and I managed to just get it under. I just managed to get it under control without putting her into the guardrail, and we crawled it home, and we were
The next day,
yes. The next day, we were about 5 minutes from the tire shop, and I think it took us 40 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
Because every time you went to go give it gas, it would just spin.
Yeah.
So you basically had to idle it to the tire shop.
surprisingly, Ivana, they handle really well in the bad weather because they're rear wheel drive
And
cars
they're heavy. Yeah.
and they're heavy. They're not front wheel drive cars, so they have a lot more traction. The problem is just the surface that we were driving on, and
Oh my God, I wish I could find that picture.
we were going way too fast.
Anyways.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so hi Ron, by the way. Hi Pierrette.
Hi Pierrette. Hi Ron.
I hope I said. I think I
Hi
said.
Tristan Sushi.
Esther is in the house too. Thank you everyone for hanging out with us. We're just chewing the fat, as they say. So Mark got that car, and it was so sweet because he got the car just when my mom was in her last month of life, and one of the only times she stood up in the hospital, Mark pulled up at the front of the hospital. My mom got out of her bed, went to the window, and was trying to talk the nurse into letting her go for a ride. So that was really sweet. My mom was so happy for you that you got that car. Why don't we? Oh, let's talk about that lovely story. What you did to the car, and then the noise that it made.
Oh my God. So, I know a lot of the people that I hang out with. Oh, it's got to be an 8. It's got to be an 8. I couldn't afford an 8.
Meaning,
everybody says that the Camaro has to be 8-cylinder, right?
thank you.
The gray car was an 8-cylinder.
For those of us that don't know cars, you have to spell it
Yeah.
out.
So, the stereotype is if it's a Camaro, it's got to be an 8-cylinder, right? And you know what? I would agree that the 8s are a better car, but it's really down to obviously what you can afford. And I could, I could barely afford this car. Never mind going to an 8. So,
right. Jesus, it was like having another mortgage payment. Anyways,
so,
go on.
Yeah. So
sorry.
So I bought the car, and it's got a high output V6 in it, which I made a lot of disbelievers into believers with this car because they thought, oh, it's got a 6, it's nothing, right? So, but it doesn't sound like a typical V8, so it's hard to put aftermarket exhaust on this car. So, I mean, I guess you know what? It's funny now because
Mark. Remember who we're talking to, that a lot of people here don't know what you're even going on about. So just sort of not trying to interrupt you, but either explain it or cut to the point because you're going to lose them in the conversation.
Okay. So
even though I was in the car world for 15 years, I don't know anything about cars. Don't tell anybody.
4-cylinder, 6-cylinder V8 cars obviously they have their own unique sound. Okay.
Right.
This was a V6 car. So I wanted to
beef it up
a little bit. And so I took it to my friend at the muffler shop to put aftermarket mufflers on it. And, we can really laugh about it now, but it wasn't funny at the time.
No, it was not funny.
It was not funny at all.
No.
I was so pissed off. I was, my uncle thought it was great, but so I go and I put these mufflers on and I get the car off the hoist and about 8 feet out of the garage door. And because we had some challenges, they were pretty much closing up after they were done with me. And I'm like, put the car back in the garage and cut the mufflers off it. Well, like, no, you're stuck. Don't worry. You know, it will quiet down a little bit.
Yeah, they basically told us that they not only were they really loud, but they sounded very tinny, and they were trying to say to us that basically, you know, as you drive it and as it warms up, that tinny noise is going to go away, and then it's just going to be like this, you know, that lovely loud rumble that all muscle cars want to have.
I kind of knew that with the 91 because the gray one we had, when I put the new exhaust system on it, I basically, thank God we lived on a bit of a hill on the cul-de-sac, because I basically had to push it out of the driveway.
Yeah.
And roll it down the street before I could start it in the morning, because it would literally vibrate the windows on the house and my neighbor's house.
Yeah.
So I knew, and it did quiet down. So I knew that this car would quiet down. But so we're going down the highway. We're on our way to my mother-in-law's funeral.
Well, not her funeral, her celebration of life.
Her celebration of life. Sorry. Yeah. And the rear.
And it's loud, but you know, we were focused, like, not to interrupt, like we were focused on what we needed to do. You know what I mean? So we weren't really like, I remember saying to you, like, this is so loud, but there was something about the moving vehicle and the hum of the noise that was kind of therapeutic in that moment. But I tell you what, friends,
the rear panels in the back of the car were vibrating. It was that kind of high pitch.
So we do the celebration of life. The celebration of life is over. And everybody is like saying goodbye and leaving and all of this kind of stuff. And Mark says to my uncle, do you want a coffee? Which is code for, do you want to go for a ride? Right? My uncle was involved in the car club as well, right? So my uncle's like, yeah, they leave, they get in the car. We are in a chapel, friends, with a whole lot of stained glass in it. And they get into the car and they start this car, and like all of the windows are vibrating in this chapel. And I'm like, OMG, this is not okay. It was so embarrassing.
I think you could hear that car for 4 blocks.
Yeah.
When we left. I think somebody told me they heard the car for like the first 4 blocks after we left.
Yeah.
And then it kind of dissipated.
It was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Right after that, then we those mufflers were, you know, history. They amscrayed. We got rid of them. But yeah, that was one of those moments. But to wind up the whole car story, because I didn't really want to go down that path, but to wind up the car story, I just want to say that probably for me, one of the coolest things that happened was we had the newer Camaro that he's talking about, and we had the older one that we had all, like, it was hand painted and had like painted graphics on it, and what you call ghost flames that turn different colors, and it was like a $4,000 or $5,000 paint job on a car that cost us a case of beer. Yeah, we're not talking about that, because I'm still sticking with the 4 or 5, because that's about all I can manage to think is okay. Anyways, long story short, our neighbor down the street, their son was getting ready to graduate. It was his prom, and he walked up the street and talked to Mark one day and asked him, what, honey? What did he ask you?
He wanted me to take him and his date to their high school prom and it was originally the gray car.
Okay, but hold on. You didn't tell the story right. Okay. They just came up and they asked you if you would be willing to do that, and you said, "I'll give you the choice. Which car do you want?"
Right.
And they picked whose car?
They picked yours.
That's right. And I was like, please. So there Mark was, he's polishing and waxing and cleaning for like days, right? Like the president had asked him to drive the car, right? But that was a really big deal. Like, someone walked up to you and said, I think that this warrants this moment. So anyway, Mark's polishing and everything, and then it starts to rain. Now, friends, that car, the gray car in the rain, you might as well put it on a flatbed. That car is not safe to be in the rain. And so Mark decided to take the newer car and had to ask the kid, like, is it okay? We're downgrading you to a $45,000 car. Is that okay? Anyway, he became the star of the show when he showed up and got out of that car. You said he was all impressed.
Yeah.
So that was like one of those moments where it was nice. It was a great appreciation for all of the time and the money and the hours that we spent, in our little hobby. Unlike my moment, just as a point of interest, we were at a car show outside. We had just bought the rims to the Camaro, which I'm not going to lie, it took 6 months of every day saying, well, I don't know, which rims do you think? Which rims do you think? Which rims do you think? I mean, what about these? What about, constantly, every time. No.
Hold on. You would design that car to the extent that you did. If I had bought the wrong rims, you would have never let me live it down. So all I was doing was getting your feedback.
I understand. But here's what happened, friends. We're at a car show. And I'm not going to lie, that car won all kinds of awards, right? And no one was happier about that than I was. But anyhow, that wasn't the point. So there this car is with its little, tooting its own horn, so to speak, displaying that it's won all these awards. This young guy comes up to me and says to me, do you have is this your son's car? And I'm like, excuse me? I'm like, do I look old enough to have a son that's old enough to drive this car? It's like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean anything by it. And spray.
So just to touch on Linda's comment there,
yeah.
I know a lot of people like front wheel drive cars. For me, I guess it's because how I come up. I seen a lot of the comments in there about, I drove an LTE and I drove an Impala, and I, like how I come up with a lot of rear wheel drive cars. I learned how to drive on a rear wheel drive car, and obviously my comfort is in a rear wheel drive car. That I drove both those Camaros in the wintertime, the gray one before I took it off the road and we redid it. But certainly my black one, once it had the proper tires on it, I will tell you that personally for me, I was more comfortable driving my Camaro than I am driving her current car, which we still have, which is a front wheel drive car. I was more comfortable in the Camaro. I would drive that Camaro anywhere.
Me too.
Right? So
there were many times that there was snow all over the place and other people were, sliding all over the place and we weren't. I also think that it has a lot to do with just knowing how to drive in certain elements, right? Hi, Jess. Hi, Sharon Fipe. Anyways, let's get over the car stuff because the whole reason why I brought that up is just to let people know that part of the reason why, not part of the reason why you're so supportive of me, but that throughout our time together, I supported you. You're now supporting me. Not that he didn't support me prior, but you guys get what I mean, hopefully. I just wanted to let you guys into a little side of Mark that some people may not know. We have so many fun stories that we could talk about. So let's open this up. We have a few more minutes. Do you guys have any questions for us? Let us know. Ask us anything. I can't say that we'll answer it, but we're just getting to know each other. It's really what's happening.
I've seen a comment here from Linda that I just wanted to touch on.
Do you just want to touch on the comment or you want to touch on it? No. Hi, Rose.
I think that it's unfortunate the way the schools are today. I know the school here, the old school had shop class or a lot of shop classes, and then they built a new one, and now there's only like a few. But I think that the high schools today should be more like what a lot of us grew up in, because I went to school with a lot of shop classes and participated in a lot of them. And
it's good for anyone to know
absolutely.
how to, like, to me it's like home economics, right? Like, you need to know how to cook, you need to know how to manage the accounts of a house. No different than you need to know how to change a flat tire and so forth. I don't know why we took that out. I don't know. I mean, these are life skills, you know what I mean? I don't know why we don't think these are important. Thank you, Sharon Sipe, for putting our links in there. So yeah, let us know if you guys have any questions. Hi, Rose. The cats are losing their minds behind me. Can you guys hear them? What are you guys doing? What are you doing? Honestly, like mom and dad are busy. Let's like wreck the house or something. I don't know what's happening.
For once, the dog's being good.
Don't ruin it. So what else can we talk about?
I just want to take a moment. I haven't really, I mean, I've said it in chat and stuff, but I guess I want to say it in person to everybody. And that is, thank you to everybody who supports Kelly in this channel and for, doing everything you do. I mean, yes, 1,000 subscribers is just a number. But it's really a collective thing. I mean, it's thanks to you guys. You guys are part of it, right? And if it wasn't for you guys, we certainly wouldn't be sitting here talking about, having 1,000 subscribers and how important that is. And I do, I try and give a little bit of input in the sense of, when Kelly comes to me and says, oh, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? We want to make the channel better for everybody. And obviously, we want it to grow as big as you or as big as Kelly wants to grow it. Right. So, I'm certainly very proud of her. I know she's come a long way in a year and a half. In the sense of,
it's almost 2 years.
I almost have to buy another table for all the cards she owns now, but that's okay.
I am officially cut off, friends, is what he's trying to say. No. If you let me buy another hot rod fixer upper, then maybe we can discuss a new table. But right.
I just wanted to say thank you. I mean, it honestly, the appreciation that I have for Kelly and from you guys, for you guys sticking with her and helping the channel grow. I mean, everybody knows I'm kind of involved in the background, but I do want to say thank you and appreciate everybody's support. The dog's growling at something. Sorry.
No, it's very kind of you to say. And I mean, I think that everybody knows. And if they don't know, I hope that I can clarify it now. And that is that, for, getting to the serious part now, for 12 years, Mark has watched me, fall apart and not know that I was going to be able to be put back together again. He has had to navigate that with little support for him, and a lack of understanding from my perspective. I mean, it's difficult to explain to someone else how they can help you when you don't understand what the heck is happening to you, right? And so now that I am at a level that I, feel joy again and happiness again, he is, he doesn't have to worry when he walks in the door that what he's going to find. And not to be dramatic, but before that was a real thing. He didn't know what he was going to walk into any day of the week, meaning how he was going to find me, whether I was going to be a mess or not, whether I would be in a panic attack or not. And so when he says that he appreciates your support, he truly means it. So, and I appreciate your support, obviously. This thing that we have created is very much a give and take, right, between us, meaning you guys, my subscribers, and myself. We work together. One doesn't work with the other is what I'm trying to say, right? Like I wouldn't be here if you guys weren't here. Anyway, what is that noise?
That is Rosie. I just wanted to. It's funny because I had one. Nope, that's not the comment I wanted. This is the comment I wanted.
Oh yes, right. Yes, yeah.
I had one interpretation of that question, and I kept reading it. And I'm like, oh, because my first interpretation of that question was that the gray car, as great as it was, and is I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I did such a good job of building that car. It almost became not fun to drive anymore because it rode worse than a Corvette.
Yeah.
It handled like crazy. Like you could, that car handled like it was on a dime. However, I just want to share this with you. Yes, the gray car was actually once green, and we pulled it off the road because it started to cost us a lot of money. And this is just after we had it painted. But we had pulled it off the road because I was daily driving this car, and the floorboards were rotten in it, and the fuel pump went in it, and then so I fixed the fuel pump, and then it was like, okay.
So you literally could put your foot through the floor.
Yeah. So once I read that question, I was laughing. Well, I got to find this picture, but so it was, yes, you could literally put your foot through the floor of that car. And it had been painted a couple times. You can see there it was red on the post there, but we pulled it off the road, made the decision that we were going to put a bit of money into it, and went a little bit over budget, but we won't talk about that. And where am I? There we are. I had to replace the floorboards in that car because you could literally Fred Flintstone the thing. So yes, in there.
What is going on? What are you guys doing? Charlotte's like, I wasn't doing nothing. I'm innocent. If you guys could hear what we could hear. So it's 10 o'clock. I have not eaten other than a piece of toast today. You guys, I have complete insomnia, like complete insomnia. I am operating on such small amounts of sleep, and I don't know. I thought I rectified it the other day. I felt like I was close to being back on track, and then I went the other way. I don't know what that's all about, but eventually I will get myself back on track. But until I do, I mean, I'm a hurting unit, not even gonna fib. I was gonna tell you guys stuff. What was I gonna tell you? Oh, yes. So tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, I have Thomas from Cherry Way joining me for some cards and chat. On Wednesday at 8 p.m., I'll be back doing some what's ahead for fall readings. And then on Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, I'll be on with Nancy Jean. We're going to be doing some past life readings. Now, last time, Nancy Jean was supposed to send me the link and we were supposed to simulcast it, and that didn't happen. So I apologize for that. But when I know that she's posted it up, you go to her community tab or my community tab and you put your question in there, and then we will have it before the show goes live. That's how she does it. So just as an FYI, right? And what else?
I'll be in the chair if anybody cares after work. Yeah.
That's not true. You're going to hockey.
On Friday.
Yeah. Well, you have your practices on Tuesday and hockey on Friday.
Yeah, but I'm not going to practice.
Or Saturday or Sunday or sometimes all three or sometimes two. So I am like, I can't do weekends is pretty much what I'm saying. I am off the market because I am on animal duty. And sometimes it goes really well with the animals, and other times it does not go so well with the animals, as we probably don't want to share with you guys, meaning that they all act like lunatics and go nuts. It's like mom's on the phone, so raid the fridge kind of idea. It's kind of like that kind of vibe.
It's and I don't know why, but for me it's certainly impossible for me to get upstairs because
you are her person.
She will not let me go upstairs.
No. So Mark can go to his office because Rosie loses her mind.
So I hope that I hope we didn't bore you guys too much. I'm
bored.
What?
I'm kidding. I'm joking.
We tried to keep this light and just chat it out. And
you know what? We have all kinds of fun stories that we can share with you guys. We have 19 years of stories. You want to talk about that story real quick before we go? Do you want to tell them about the day of the wedding, your experience speaking? I mean, because it's car related. You could tell them about that.
Oh, yes.
Real quick, just.
Okay. So the night before we get married, my grandfather comes down, and we had just I just lost my grandmother like a month prior to this, and so my grandfather was, my grandfather has always been important to me. So my grandfather comes down, and Kelly is like the twinkle of his eye, right? So we're getting married, and he's like, yep. So Kel stays in the house, and we rent a hotel room, and I stay in a hotel room. So Kel's getting ready, and
it's the next day.
Yeah, this is the next day. This is the day we're getting married. So I'm in the hotel. I think I dropped him off. I dropped him off, and I went back.
I wasn't there. I don't know.
I think I dropped him off. Well, remember your mom thought he was the cleaner or the janitor or whatever.
Okay, so Mark's age is starting to get to him, friends, and so we're going to help him out with the hard stuff. So Mark is at the hotel with his grandfather, and we were getting married and having our reception in the same location, right? So we were all at the hall preparing for the day. We were decorating it and so on and so forth. So we were there during the day, then we left, and then obviously we had to come back for the wedding. So Mark comes and is with the hall preparation, and everything is fine. They go back to the hotel, and then Mark is on his way back because you forgot what?
I don't know.
You forgot something at the hall, which you had to come, like your tuxedo.
Oh, yeah.
So you were driving back to the hall like a madman because, he's getting married and he doesn't.
No. Yeah. I dropped him off first.
Yes. You dropped him off.
I went and got ready to come back to get married. And that's when all this happened.
Because you got stopped twice.
Oh.
So you were driving back to the hall to pick up your tuxedo, and you got pulled over by the cops, and you were like, I'm getting married, blah, 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 blah. And the cop laughed at you and said, if you want to make it alive to your wedding, I suggest that you slow down. You better, are you sure you want to go through with it? Because he was in such a panic. So you come to the hall.
Right.
Your face
all over, speeding, no ownership, no license, no insurance slip.
No, not that time. Just the speeding the first time.
Okay.
You pick up your tuxedo, you go back to the hotel. Now it's all fun and games and we're laughing about it. Then he gets ready and he drives back to the wedding venue. This is when he gets pulled over yet again on the same day within like hours of each other because he's not wearing a seatbelt and he has no driver's license and he has no ownership and he has no insurance.
And it's not my car.
Yeah, and it's not his car. He's nothing.
Yeah, good times.
Probably because you were now in your wedding tuxedo, because it was a lady cop, you told me, and you said she just laughed at you and said, "Are you sure you want to go through with this?" And you were like, "What?" and then Mark gets to the venue, and there is like a side door, and he was trying to avoid me seeing him. This is prior to the wedding ceremony, if you will call it that, and so he was trying to avoid me seeing him, and when he seen me coming in, he panicked and opened up the door to go out the side of the building, like to the outside.
No, I was coming into the building and I took the header coming into the building because there was 2 steps. I took that header going in the building, not coming out.
You went outside that door and there was no step. And it's like a 3-foot drop and you almost split your pants open, you said. I wasn't there for any of this. This is you telling me this story. But anyway. The point is, we survived it, barely. We barely survived. It's kind of funny that we're actually still married. Well, it's funny that we got married because of all the stuff that was going on. And in between that, our cat was dying, and then we went to the.
It's okay. You stop.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. But we made it, and that's the important bit.
I just want to look like the guy in the picture with no gray hair.
I look the same, so.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. Actually, I probably do. I'm just I'm chubbier. Maybe.
I will tell you, you look a lot closer in the picture than I do.
Jeez, thanks. What does that mean?
Well, there's not much change on your side. There's a lot of change on my side.
Well, that's because your eyeballs are going on. That's why there's no change.
You see this?
What's that? Hey. Don't mess around on my channel. We used to tease each other, or Mark used to tease me all the time that he has perfect vision, and I'm one of those backseat drivers, so I'd be like, you're too close, you're getting too close, and I'd be reading someone's be reading the license plate in front of me, and so the story was, or the joke was, that if I could read the license plate in front of us, he was definitely too close. And now we need assistance to read labels off of bottles, do we not, friend?
Smaller ones. It's the small print that I have a hard time with.
Really?
Yes.
You could show him your light. Oh my God, Mark, show him your light. Show him your light. It's on the coffee. It's on the triangle table, Mom's table.
I don't need the light if I have my glasses.
Mark, show them the light. Because I'm gonna say this is what you do when you can't see.
Gotta lock and load. Hold on a second.
Oh my God, you guys! No, don't let them see. So this is what Mark does. Okay. Avert your gaze. So. So I'll walk out into the kitchen or into the living room and Mark will have that on. Like the beacon of hope. And it's like, what are you doing? And he's like, well, I can't read the label.
That's stage one.
God,
if it gets really bad, then we go to stage 2.
Stage 2. Oh my God, it's the best. because the joke is that I'm the one who can't see. It's like,
Yeah, it's great getting old. Let me tell you.
oh my god. Oh, I can't breathe. It's just too funny. Like, seriously, walk out there and I'm like, wow, that's a lot. What do you do with the light? It's like having construction lights or like a searchlight in your living room. It's like, we've gone past the phase of taking pictures with the phone and being able to blow it up. We've bypassed that stage altogether. Oh my god. I mean, you go in the kitchen and it's like he's doing this. The big spotlight on it. I can't.
Well,
oh my god.
practical, right? I'm all about practicality, right? So,
Yeah, okay.
most of the time we either go like stage one, it's either the glasses or the light, depending on the mood I'm in, and then you've got to break them both out. Look out.
Yeah. Yeah. If we have to go to stage 2, then there's a problem.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I got to tell you, I pity those with poor vision because I have pretty good vision, except if it's this big.
Well, now you. I have pretty good vision, except for when I can't see it.
No, I do. I still do have good vision for driving. Like I don't require glasses for driving, and I can still read a lot of stuff where a lot of people can't. But for whatever reason, if it involves reading instructions on a friggin' bottle or whatever, forget it. It seems, I don't know. It just.
You know what? Do you guys want to know what stage 3 is? I can tell you what stage 3 is. When he hands it in protest over to me and says, "Can you see it?" Because he's so upset. Yes, they do print everything so tiny. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there should be a law against tiny print for sure. I mean, there are, like, they don't have to go out of your way to make you feel like you can't see properly. Do you know what I mean? Oh, you had cataract surgery? Wow.
Yeah, that's not fun.
I have a funny story about cataract surgery. So my ex-mother-in-law had LASIK surgery done, and then there was some corrective stuff that had to happen, and I had been in that family for 4 or 5 years at that point, and later on that week she went to the cottage to recover, and so then on the weekend she came home and she said to me, "Wait, what?" Or she's like, "Wait," and I was like, "What?" And she said, "No, come back, turn around." And I was like, "Okay, what?" And she goes, "Well, I just wanted to see you up close because I've never seen what you look like before." It's such a random thing to say. But I was like, "You mean all those faces I could have been making out here?" No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. But yeah, she had no idea what I looked like. She told me that she could just see the outline of me. She never knew what I looked like. And I'm like, that's probably a good thing. But anyway. Hi, Birdie girl. All right, friends. That was a good laugh. See, Mark is 7 years younger than I am. And so I can't help sometimes, friends, pointing out to him every so often about the age thing, right? Because he bothers me a bit about it, about the, you're getting old. So.
I don't say that. That sounds mean. I don't say that.
No, you don't say it like that. No, you just tell everyone I'm the reason that you have gray hair.
Well, those are facts. That's true.
Right. But the way that you say it is, she's older than me and she doesn't have any gray hair. And after all, she's the one who gave me this. So that doesn't seem fair. And I'm like, thank you. I got 2 insults in one. That's lovely.
Yeah, but I do it with a lot of love, though.
Yeah. Yeah. You hear what Daddy's saying about me, Quincy? It's not very nice, is it? No.
It's more jealousy than anything.
Yes, it is. It's true. Linda says, wait till you need the magnifying glass with the built-in light. Yeah, true that. That's
Oh my
no
God,
doubt.
Linda, I don't even want to tell you this. I don't even want to admit to this, but
Yes,
I do have one. It's at work, and the drawing, the electrical drawings that we have to read sometimes, I literally have to put glasses on. I almost have to go to like stage, well, that is technically stage 3 because I got to put that or I got to use my phone and go. And thank God it's got 24 times or 50 times zoom because like those drawings are so small. I literally have to put glasses on and use a magnifying glass to try and read some of them. Like it's ridiculous. But I do have one with a
that's it.
light at that, and which none of you will be surprised by. So I'm about the lights. Oh, well. Hold on a second.
Don't throw your dirty socks to the world. What are you doing?
You know what? Listen. I'll make a confession.
Oh dear. You've gone overtime, friends. We're making confessions now. Go ahead. Can't wait for this.
So I'm going through some of my dad's stuff, right? Some of the clothes that he had, most of them I got rid of, and there was some stuff there, like camel sweaters and whatnot. And I found 2 packages of brand new white socks, and I'm not really a white sock kind of guy because just they just don't last. Okay, so
A random reason, but okay.
2 brand new packages of socks. And when I picked the package up, it said they were compression socks, like diabetic compression socks. I'm like, I didn't know that's what these were. I'm like, wow, these things are really comfortable. Right? I didn't even read the label. I just kind of threw the first one out, and then I went to go grab the second package, and I read it, and I'm like, oh, that's what those are. They're pretty comfortable. So yeah, that's what those are. Just thought I'd share.
Yeah, Ivana showed me her compression socks, and that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that. Do you have any parting words of wisdom, like eat more carrots or anything like that?
Well, as long as they're not cooked, yep. Because cooked carrots suck.
And what do I tell you all the time? The reason that why you have problems with your eyes is because what?
Because I don't eat cooked carrots.
There you go. Well, you don't eat carrots. He says he will eat carrots if they're raw, but if you offer him a raw carrot, he'll be like, no, thank you, I don't want that. So he basically doesn't eat carrots. He just uses that line.
I don't actually mind carrots as long as they're not cooked in boiling water. Then same with the other disgusting vegetables that shouldn't exist. But
like what?
Squash.
Enlighten us.
Squash.
Mm-hmm.
Turnip, which are really the same. I mean, let's be honest. I mean,
they're actually not at all the same, but they're in the same family for sure.
They are revolting. We'll put it right up there with cantaloupe, just revolting, right? Like, I'm just being truthful.
What's your least favorite vegetable ever that you can't even stand the smell of?
Mini brains. Absolute detest those things. Those things should be outlawed in all 50 states and 10 provinces in Canada. I'm telling you, because they're horrific. Those things are disgusting. I don't even know why they make them. Like who is the brainchild that decided to pluck cabbage out? 8 months before it's ready. Like who thought of that one?
I wonder. Does anyone know what he's talking about? Quincy, could you get your butthole out of my face? Like literally. Linda says my daughter hates cooked carrots but loves raw carrots too.
I don't even know what they're called anymore because I've completely removed it out of my memory because
they're called Brussels sprouts.
Oh my God, those things are disgusting.
It's the look on his face that he gets. Like, I love Brussels sprouts, and he's like, he puts up such a fuss.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I won't even let you cook my vegetables in the same water as those disgusting things, man. Just keep them away from me, man. Honestly, I used to be I used to not be a big fan of asparagus, but then Cal got me into asparagus, or I guess it was my mother-in-law
Yes, Mom got you. Yeah.
who cooked them on the barbecue, and now I can.
Are you gonna tell everyone what your name for? I don't know where you get all these code names for vegetables. I don't know if this was a game that you played at home, but what is your code name for asparagus?
Asparagus.
Yeah, and Brussels sprouts are mini brains.
Yeah. No, I honestly, I don't know. Those are really, I don't know. I'm sure there's more.
You didn't eat spinach before me, but now you like spinach
Yeah,
too.
spinach is okay. Yeah, no, I like spinach. Well, I didn't. Spinach was never, declassified like the rest of them were, but
Basically, when we met, you would eat corn and corn
and peas
and corn.
and peas.
That's what you would eat.
No, I like beans too. Beans and carrots. You
mean peas and carrots?
No, beans.
Yeah, you wouldn't eat any of that stuff.
Peas. Sorry, I don't know why I said carrots. Peas.
Yeah, you would never eat any of that stuff. But I'm here to tell you, friends, now he is Mr. Vegetable over there. Now he eats everything except for mini brains.
Oh, I wouldn't say everything, but yes. I mean, we don't.
No, you do pretty good with your vegetables now.
We don't.
You have broadened your horizon.
Yes. Well. Yes.
I made a stew one time, and I put carrots, and I don't eat turnip either, but I like turnip in a stew.
I will say this. For some reason, I will tolerate turnip and stew more than I will on its own. Like it's just not happening on its own.
So I made a beef stew and I put turnip in it, and he, carrots and turnip and potatoes and beef and peas and green beans or whatever else was in there. And literally all he ate was the broth and the beef. And he said, and the potatoes. And he said to me, "Are you trying to kill me?" And I'm like, what? And he's like, "Are you trying to kill me by putting turnip and carrots in the same stew?" And I was like, no. Why would you? Like, he really doesn't like it. So.
Well, and I know I'm not alone when I say this, but I am so weird that my food can't touch.
Oh, yes, that's another thing.
And I eat it
another thing.
One thing at a time.
Yeah. His food can't touch each other on the plate. And he eats all one thing, and then he goes to the next thing, and then he goes to the next thing. Like, he can't, take a scoop of potatoes and a scoop of meat and, put it all on the same mouthful. Hi, Stephanie. Yeah, I don't know why. Why?
Well, I think I'm better at it now, but at one time I was like OCD-ish.
No, you were weird about it.
Yeah.
Well, and your other thing was about round meat, which I've personally never understood. He didn't eat round meat, or at least that was his excuse. So, like, hamburger patty, obviously that's okay, but he wouldn't eat a meatball.
That's not true.
You said you didn't like round meat, so anything that was shaped like round, you were like, "Nope, sorry, I don't do it." I'm like, what? So he uses a 3-divider blade. No, not quite, but close, but damn close, Rose. Not quite. Hi, Thomas. Yeah. I remember my mom giving you the gears about the whole round meat thing and your food not touching on your plate.
Yeah, I'm weird.
I mean, everyone has their thing, right?
Yeah. Hey, Thomas.
Another thing that you do that's always been like a puzzle to me.
What's that?
And I could be totally wrong. Like, I could be, and I'm willing to own it. But I've always said to you, why do you take you take yourself to your food rather than put the food to yourself? Do you know what I mean? Like, rather than putting the spoon in your mouth or the fork in your mouth and pulling the food off and doing what we do with it, you bring yourself to the food. You know how I always give you. I'm like always saying to him, why like why do you do that? You know, because like stuff falls. Oh, there's a story.
God.
There's a story. But do you know what I mean, you guys? It's like rather than holding the spoon or the fork still and, you know, like that, like that's what he does. He holds it out here and takes himself to it.
That's because that's from eating in the truck, which I know you want to get to next. So, but that's why.
Is that why?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it makes sense.
Tell that fun story.
It would make sense.
No, it totally makes sense.
Except for when I don't lose it, you know. But
yeah.
But
yeah, even Charlotte thinks so.
Um,
this is like our third date that we've ever been on. Just as an FYI, this story he's about to tell you guys. Go ahead, dear.
Yeah. So
do you tell that story?
So no, it was, I don't know. I want to think we were in. I want to say we were in the dually, but
yeah, we were.
So
no,
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't it just? I thought it mattered because I thought we were in the dually, but doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
So
the point of the story is not about.
I find out that Cal likes Italian food. So we have a couple of good Italian bakeries where we lived. So
that have like a lunch counter in them where they have like, you know, you can get like hot food, you know, prepared for you.
Yeah. So
we go in, we get the food, we come out, we're in a truck, right?
Yeah.
And he's got this whole apparatus.
So I got
so he can put his plate and he's balancing it on this like book thing on the steering wheel, right? Yeah. And it's a lasagna, and it's like this little tinfoil, you know, thing, just like a frozen entree that you stick in the oven. And he takes his fork and knife and goes and starts to cut, and the whole thing goes arse over tea kettle, upside down, lasagna everywhere.
Yeah.
And I am like laughing so hard that like my Italian food is coming out of me in ways that it's not supposed to. And I was like, OMG.
Well, that wasn't the funny part. The funny part was I did it twice. Because I went in and got a replacement, and then it happened again.
I wasn't
learn the first one.
He was pulling lasagna out of his shoes. Like, that's how bad it was. So then, you know, once we got him cleaned up and we stopped laughing, or I stopped laughing, he went back into the store and got another lasagna, and he freaking did it again in the same day, in the same sitting. So the rule of the point of telling that story is don't eat lasagna in your car.
Yeah, they didn't, you know, I mean, the trucks that I was driving aren't like the one we have today where it's got a big center console in it, and, you know, so you basically your belly and your steering wheel will your table. So
the fun that we used to have. Hi, Bims. So we're half an hour past the time that we said we were going to go.
Well, that's okay. I mean, it wasn't a hard date, you know, or a hard time. It was just, we didn't want to bore these poor people, but they seem to be enjoying it. They seem to be suckers for punishment. So,
but it's time to go to bed. Time to go nighty night. Monday comes early, does it not, Quincy? We'll be up at 6 o'clock, right?
Yeah, Ivana, I didn't have one of those steering wheel tables. I kind of made my own. That was the first mistake.
I was just going to say. Imagine if you had had your light on, what kind of a mess it would have been.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So I hope I didn't bore you guys too bad. I'd be honest, I forgot we were doing this tonight. So I would have probably come a little more prepared, but Kel and I can usually work off the cuff. We're pretty good at that. So
I don't know what you're talking about. Did you finish your job outside today or yesterday? You did finish, right?
I did finish it. I have to buy more gravel, but
So we have an apple tree at the side of our house, and it's just been dropping apples like crazy all over the roof. Bang, slam, crash in the middle of the night. And I'm like, for the love of God, please, can you do something? So he went out there and dealt with that situation.
and I got to buy more tools. I love buying new tools. Like,
yes.
that's how she gets me to do stuff. She's like, honey, you can go to Home Depot and buy more tools. I'm like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah. So I appreciated that job being done, and then we laid some gravel down, and just it's along the side of the house, and it's very much in the shade. The rest of our whole house is in the sun, and so it sort of always stays like a little wet, a little damp. So this was a hi, Charlotte.
If you watch her, she'll paw my glass.
Yeah, no, I know she wants it. Charlotte. Rub her, you know.
No, we lost her.
She's like, should I? What do you want me to do?
She just did it.
Where's Rosie?
Rosie's behind me, or behind the laptop there.
Hi, Rosie. Rosie. Where's Austin?
I don't know.
I know where Quincy is. Rose says, do you use a coupon? They have them. Just look and print them. Yeah. I don't know. It just, why are you eating my papers? I am not John. We're just finishing up here. So friends, I hope you guys have a good week. If I don't see you again in the live chats, the readings are up, so make sure that you check those out. Be sure to check out my other channel if you're interested in just oracle readings. I have Cat's Royal Oracle Readings, which used to be the Circle of Friends channel, so there's that. Hi, Charlotte. Are you talking to Mummy? Charlotte. Hi, Linda. Hi, Charlotte. Charlotte.
Nope.
All right, Stephanie. Sounds good. I did email you back. I hope that you got it okay, hon. Take care of yourself. So, friends, we're going to say goodnight. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with us. I apologize that we had no plan, but it was fun just chit-chatting, as they say. And thank you. I just want to say, on the record, thank you for all of your support. And also, thank you for being so supportive of my husband. And to my husband, thank you for everything that you do for me. And
yeah, you guys have been awesome from day one. Certainly with me, it's, I was not trying to carve a spot here for myself, or it was just to support my wife. And you guys have welcomed me just like one of you guys. So I do appreciate it.
We'll get him reading cards next, you guys. Do you watch?
No, I don't have that talent, I don't think.
You never know. Anyways, friends, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with us. I hope that you guys have a good week. Like I said, tomorrow night, 7 p.m., I'll be back with Thomas from Tarot Your Way. We'll be doing some cards and chat. Wednesday will be some what's ahead for the fall readings. And then I'm with Nancy Jean on Thursday doing past life readings. So lots to look forward to. Lots of exciting things happening. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and share the content on your social media. That would help the channel out a great deal.
Absolutely.
Honey, I love you, and I'll see you in a few minutes.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. Be safe. Have a good week.
Bye, everybody. Blessings. Mwah. Bye, Charlotte.